Okay, here we go. It's another day. It's another video. Um, I'm a teacher. We have 2 weeks off this Christmas season, so and I got the new camera, so I'm gonna try to do a bunch of videos during this vacation. I do live in Western New York, where sourcing can be difficult during the winter months. So I do rely quite a bit on Goodwill. I do some estate sales, of course. There's no estate sales this week because of the Christmas holiday. Um, but those are also tough because some of them are while I'm at school, and then I got to rely on day twos, which can be good again. But um, I definitely have to rely a lot more on Goodwills this time of the year. So what you see up here is a couple of things the different things that I've gotten at Goodwill over the last couple of days. I've probably got 7 or 8 Goodwills in my area. Um, Only 2 or 3 are actually worth going to, and the one that's actually closest to me is by far the best. Uh, I've definitely had some good scores there before. A week ago, I got this medical humidifier of some sort. A little nervous about selling it, but eBay said I was okay to sell it. Paid $6, sold it for 130 the next day. So I mean, I want to say that happens all the time there, but it's not out of the ordinary either. So I can't complain about my most local Goodwill too much because they've definitely been good to me. So these are the few things I've got. Typically during the winter, end up buying some things I wouldn't normally run into in the summer or buy in the summer. But it's good because it really expands my repertoire of things that I'm willing to buy. Definitely watching the videos of other resellers has helped me do that, and just being out in the field. Um, but the winter months, the Goodwill, definitely turns me on to some other stuff too, because I want to say I have more time because I've got family commitments and stuff. But at the same time, I don't have to worry about going to 20, 30 garage sales either. I'm only going to be going to 1 or 2 Goodwills. So maybe I take a little bit more time and look a few more things up than I normally would. So I'll just kind of go through what I found here over the last couple of days at a couple of different Goodwills. We'll start simple. I picked this up today, the old Radica big screen Sudoku. I've run into a couple of these lately. They're not big sellers, but man, when they're sealed, it's just so awesome. It's a couple of pictures, and this is going to sell for probably $25 or $30 the way it looks, and I paid 3. So that was a nice find, small find, but a nice one. I almost missed it. It was on the top shelf, and I was kind of heading out of the toy aisle at this particular Goodwill. I do actually spend some extra time at that Goodwill in that section because I found some really good games there before. Some games that I've sold for 50, 60, $70. So for some reason, that's like the game Goodwill for me. So found that today. Also on the low profit items, but easy to sell, of course, is the Polaroid, which I found yesterday. This was a little bit unfortunate because I spent $6 on it. Typically at my local Goodwill, these are $3.99. This one didn't have a price on it, and when I went to go ask the price, they came back with $6, which didn't thrill me. But it's such an easy sale that I'm not going to turn it away, because even at making $8 or $10 or whatever, it's a no-brainer because it's going to sell as soon as I put it up. I also picked this up, a Panasonic recorder. I haven't tested it yet, but it looks like it's really clean. The battery compartment's clean. Paid $5 for it, which is more than I pay at a garage sale. I typically pay $1 or $2. But again, winter season here, I got to be a little bit more flexible, I think. Even if I'm only going to make $10, it's not going to be a hard sale. It's not really hard to test. And if it doesn't work, they're going to give me store credit, which is as good as gold, right? Because I'm definitely going to be using that at some point. So I picked that up. Yesterday, I went to my closest Goodwill, and it was crawling with resellers. Typically I'll see maybe 1 or 2 other resellers there. This was like the majority of people there, and I felt like they were like looking over my shoulder to see what I was looking at. It was something else. I'll say that. And so I had to kind of expand my world a little bit yesterday, because I definitely like finding something every time, and I know I'm not going to find something every time, but I get a little bit frustrated. So I looked hard. I looked at this. I came back to it. This Challenger Mobility large rear basket. Looked like there was like 1 or 2 look like companies selling them on eBay for $65 free ship. I don't want to do free ship on something this size, of course, because it'll end up going to California and I'll end up losing money on it. But it looked new, and so I opened it up just to check out to see if it was actually new. And these two guys were hanging out in there. These two do not typically come with this. This is a armrest bag, which looks like it's selling for about $25, $26 free ship. And this Patriotic cup holder is not listed at all. I'm sure it's not going to be big money, but these were kind of bonuses, right? Because then I've got this, which I opened up, and inside it's completely new inside. Everything's the pins and everything are sealed up, and the brackets are attached to the basket and everything, with tie wraps on them. So this is definitely new. And so what I'm going to do, of course, is I'm just going to price it lower. I'm going to assume that somebody probably on the East Coast is going to end up buying it at some point. It's not like a hot seller or anything like that, but it was $5. $5. I get those two other things. There's no way I'm going to lose on that. So definitely something different, something out of my box, so to speak, that I've never run into before. But I like new. Okay, a lot of times when it's new, I'm going to give it that extra look. So I'm going to move this out of the way. This is actually one of my favorite things to buy. It's going to sound crazy. Hamilton Beach iced tea maker. I sell 5 or 6 of these a year. I mean, I've only been reselling this is probably going to be like my 3rd summer coming up, but the last 2 summers, 5 or 6 of these. Easy. I run into them all the time at garage sales, anywhere from $3 to up to $10. And they typically sell for me anywhere between, depending on the time of the year and how many are available, anywhere from, I would say, the mid 40s up to close to $70. I think I sold some last year for $70, right up there. And when I find them, they're almost always sealed. Sometimes the boxes are a little bit damaged. I got a couple now where the boxes are damaged. But this one was actually at a Goodwill that is usually not very good to me. It's kind of very hit or miss whether I find anything. And I had been there the previous day and found absolutely nothing. I mean, the shelves are so bare, it looks like they're going out of business, but they're not, because one that was in the same town did go out of business. I figured this one would be piled with stuff, but it's not. But I found this sitting on the shelf, sealed, brand new, $6. So that's a no-brainer. And this might not be the greatest time to be selling these iced tea makers, but I have no doubt that these things are going to sell. This is going to sell along with the other two that I have with some damage on the box, but still brand new units on the inside. So I get excited when I find these. It's kind of goofy. With that box, that color, I usually can spot these across the street at garage sales, and I run to them because they're always sealed. For some reason, nobody ever seemed to use these, but now everybody seems to want them. So picked that up. Was pretty excited about it. It'll be money at some point for sure. The last thing I'm going to show is this. And I bought this today. This might have even been there yesterday. I've been going to Goodwill every day now because I am off. I've been donating a lot. I'm trying to get my punches so I get a bunch of 25% offs. Actually, I had to donate a couch today. I meant to take the camera with me today, and I was going to try to film the outside, do something besides my work area here in the basement. And I forgot the camera. But I'm going to go back tomorrow because I want to see what they put our couch, more like a love seat. I want to see how much they put it for sale. I'm going to assume that it'll still be there tomorrow because I donated it today. Probably one of the nicer pieces of furniture that I've ever seen there. So I'm kind of curious what price they're going to put on it. I'm going to try to get there right when they open tomorrow, and hopefully it's out there. But anyways, this might have been there yesterday. I don't know. It's a steamer. I think we might have one upstairs. I know I had one of these in college, and I'm thinking it costs $20, right, to go to Walmart and get it for $20. So I see it there. I haven't bought anything else yet there today, so I scan it because it looks brand new in the box, which it is because somebody had kind of opened it a little bit, so I just went ahead and opened it the rest of the way on the bottom just to check it out. It's brand new. Checked it out. These things sell for like $60, $70 brand new. I don't understand why. I couldn't believe it. Had no price on it. For some reason lately at that particular Goodwill, I'm finding that there aren't prices on things, so I have to constantly ask. Now there is one guy there. I know he's a pricer, and I always try to find him. If there's not a price, I always try to see if he's working, because he always prices things very nicely. And so I knew he was there. He was out in the parking lot doing a carry out. So I'm walking back down the aisle with this. I carried it around for a while and looked around. And then I ran up to him. I said, hey, I need a price on this. And so he gave me $4.99. So $4.99, I've already listed it. There's only 2 other ones listed. One's listed as new, but it has no box, and I think they want like, I want to say like $80, and I think there's another one that's like $85 or something. So I priced mine at 70. I don't know if it's gonna be a quick seller. You know, this isn't like a hot video game or something, but it's gonna sell, and I bet you it sells for about $60. So um, kind of a crazy find, and that's what I'm talking about. In the winter, I have that extra time to look up something like this that would probably just pass by. I mean, I've learned a lot from watching videos. I mean, the stuff that I must have passed by last year compared to this year is just crazy. Um, my my repertoire of items that I'm willing to buy now is just so much greater. My plan heading into this winter, because last winter I basically ran out of stuff for the most part, and so my winter months were like pretty low in terms of sales and pretty dead. So my philosophy this year was I'm going to buy a lot during the summer so I have enough to get me going through the winter. Um, Problem is my span of things that I'm willing to buy now and feel comfortable buying has grown so much that I don't really need to have a lot of these smaller things that I bought during the course of the year. And consequently, you can't see it over here, but I have quite the death pile of items that are probably going to net me, you know, like $10. Probably things I would not buy next summer. If I was full time, I would do stuff like that, but I'm not full time. You know, I'm a full time teacher. I do this on the side. I like to say I'm preparing for my retirement career. Um, you know, reselling has been great. My sales are just so much greater than they were a year ago. Last December, I was under $1,000 in sales. This year, I'm well over $3,000 in sales. So it's, you know, it's definitely been an interesting experience. I credit a lot of the other resellers that do videos that I love. Bearded Picker, Lonnie Garage Flips, Cincinnati Picker John. You know, there's other ones. Those guys have been great. I've learned so much from them, but I've also put in the time that you need to put into doing the research, to going out in the field, and all those kind of things. It definitely does take time. The great thing about reselling is my wife used to be a teacher, and she quit when we had our second child so that she was able to stay home with that child and also be able to go to school functions for my daughter, who's now in second grade. So it's allowed us to not miss a beat, not to have to change our lifestyles at all because of the reselling, at least partially. And it's really just expanded like crazy. Like, I honestly don't know that I could do much more than I do now with the time restraints that I have in terms of full-time job, 2 young kids, that kind of stuff. You know, I thought when Christmas came and went, that things would slow down for me, and they have a little bit, but it's still going pretty good. Christmas Day, I had a $380 sale. It's like, you know, I think it might have been my biggest sale ever on an item that I had literally $8 into. Yesterday, I sold a combo unit that I've had for months, and I just hadn't got around to listing it. And I've listed a lot of combo units, and I just hadn't gotten around to this one. And I paid $4 for it at the tail end of the summer, and it sold within 12 hours for $70. Behind you in the camera here, I have 2 stacks of audio visual equipment, VCRs, combo units, and it's just dwindled. There's 3 left back there. One I'm waiting for a remote, and that's going to sell quickly. So it's been an incredible journey, and I expect it to continue to be that way. You know, I've seen so much growth. I've seen growth in the people that I watch, things that I think they would have bought a year ago that I don't think would continue to buy. And I see the same thing in myself, things that I was willing to buy last garage sale season that I'm not going to buy. And it's tough, right? If I know I can make $5 or $10 on something, I feel like I need to buy it. But at the same time, you know, you got to consider your time. Is it a video game that's not going to take any time? You know, buy it and do it. Is it something that's going to require me to test it and take a half an hour out of my time and another half an hour to list it and then a half an hour to pack it? Then it's probably not worth my time. You know, it's move on. It's not worth the $5 or $10 that I'm going to make and ultimately end up with this death pile that I have over here. So, you know, I'm rambling a little bit, but you know, again, I just kind of wanted to get on here, get more practice with the videos, show you some of the things that I'm buying here. You know, I do expect that I'm going to be buying less in the winter, but I can already see that I'm I'm running into better stuff than I did a year ago, and it's just because of watching the videos and doing the research and all those kinds of things. It's really just expanded my knowledge, and my knowledge continues to expand. It's really just, it's, you know, it's pretty incredible. You know, it's completely different than what I do for my day job. But I think I definitely enjoy that release. Although at the same time, I'm probably glad that we don't have garage sales here 12 months of the year, because you know, a couple months off from that is good too, and it'll, you know, re-energize me for the spring. So I may try to do a video tomorrow. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to Goodwill. I basically want to go there every day. This is over vacation every day that I can. This tends to be the time, obviously, when a lot of donations come in, and I'm finding something like every day. I'm finding decent stuff. You know, I'm not finding things I'm going to make hundreds and hundreds of dollars on in a spot, but I don't mind. You know, I'm going to make $45. I'm going to make $40. You know, and that of course all adds up. And you know, my home runs are going to come more from the local deals, and I've made so many of them. There's just some deals that's like, even, you know, I sold this recorder right before Christmas. It sat on Facebook for a month. You know, I couldn't believe it was sitting there. It was a Toshiba. It was a DVD VCR recorder.